California's Gold is seen statewide on California Public Television. This series is endorsed by the California Teachers Association, the California School Boards Association, and the California Library Association.
California's Gold is brought to you by Ford, with a world of new ideas that make being out on the road more fun and more economical. Like Sync, the hands-free communication and entertainment system from Microsoft. It lets you order up practically anything you want to hear just by asking. And turn-by-turn navigation gets you exactly where you want to go. Ford hopes you enjoy traveling through California with Huell, perhaps in one of our remarkable new products.
Well, hello everybody, I'm Huell, outstanding in my field. A field that's located about 30 minutes east of Palm Springs. We're in the Coachella Valley near the nice little community of Coachella. And guess what I'm doing out in the middle of this field? I am standing here on this beautiful day. Look at these mountains and these clouds and the clean air. I am standing here watching grass grow. Now, when somebody tells you that they're watching grass grow, your first inclination is to think they don't have very much of a life. If they've got time to stand around and watch grass grow, they've got too much time on their hands. Not very exciting, but trust me, watching the grass grow in this field is exciting because this grass is California's gold. So here it is, the green grass that's golden. Come on over here, Cameron, and take a look at all this grass. And here to explain to us why this grass is golden, introduce yourself to everybody, Tom.
Tom Stafford with West Coast Turf.
West Coast Turf. Now, you heard me at the opening. I said I was watching the grass grow.
Correct.
And that this was exciting because it's California's gold. Why is this grass California's gold?
Well, this particular grass here services all the major pro stadiums in California, starting with the Angels, the Dodgers, the Padres, the Coliseum, the Rose Bowl, national championship games.
So this is going all over California.
Including Oakland A's and Oakland Raiders.
Wow. So when you say turf, you're talking about you're providing all the grass for all the major or most of the major stadiums in California.
Correct, all of the grass playing surfaces, natural turf.
Do you think most people know that the grass in their baseball and football stadiums, in the Rose Bowl and other places, is grown out here in the Coachella Valley?
Not a whole lot, but I hope they do now, or they will.
All right, so this is exciting. Look over here, you probably heard the noise. They're harvesting do you call it sod?
Call it sod, turf, sod.
So how does this operate here? You're just cutting it and rolling it up?
We roll it up, just like a big roll of toilet paper, really, but it starts down here on the ground.
Let's go around here, Cameron, and take a look. Okay, they're cutting it up right now. Look at this. It's coming right up. Look at that. It is like a big piece of carpet that's being rolled up. Look at this. And then they stop and cut it.
They stop every about 40 feet. Right now, for Angel Stadium, we're cutting the rolls 1.25 inches thick.
Wow.
And the benefits of growing the grass out here is the soils, the sandy soil.
What do you mean, the sandy soil?
It's a lot sandier than other parts of California. It's very sandy out here in the desert.
So does that mean it's good to grow grass?
It's excellent for grass. The drainage on it is top notch. And when you're in a stadium, if you do have any rain or issues, it'll go right through. It's a great growing medium. The Coachella Valley is one of the greatest growing mediums for vegetables and turf.
Now what's he measuring? What are you measuring over here?
I'm measuring the thickness of the roll.
So
We want 1.25 inch soil. So we go right at the bottom of the root zone, and you have 1.25 inch.
you want to make sure they're not cutting too much.
They have, well, no, they have to be even, so when they lay it out, it's all consistent and even.
All the rolls have to be consistent, so the next roll next to it is the same height. So you don't have one height smaller than the other. You have to measure both sides. You have to be consistent the whole way through.
Now, is this the way traditionally turf has been grown and these stadiums have been grassed all these years?
No, over the last 20 years roughly, yes, over the last 15 to 20 years. But before that, this technology wasn't available.
Did they grow their own grass?
They would grow their own grass, or they would seed it, a lot of these places. And the stadium qualities are a lot better nowadays than they used to be.
This must have revolutionized the whole idea of
growing turf has.
Who came up with the idea? Look at this. This is spectacular out here. Who came up with the idea of growing turf?
Well, it's a family business. John and Joe Foster, originally out here 20-something years ago, were doing a lot of building for golf courses, and PGA West was one of their first, and they just kind of, found a little niche in the sports business, and we just kept it going with them.
That's not a little niche. That's a big niche.
It's done well.
There's money in grass out here, isn't there?
There is. It's agriculture. It's another form of agriculture out here.
Wow, what would have been here before this? Would you call this a sod farm?
Sod farm. Typically, what was here before would have been grapes, or this was actually citrus and carrots. You don't want to be anywhere where there's palm trees. You wouldn't want to take over a field.
Date palms.
Those are date palms. But that was always a date palm field. This never was, because you get different weeds in date palm fields than you would in a citrus field, or than you would in a grape field.
That's the most beautiful color green I think I've ever seen.
This is a hybrid Bermuda. It's actually a Tifway overseeded with perennial ryegrass. We have several varieties of Bermudas, but this particular one is the one the Angels wanted this year. They've used Bullseye Bermuda in the past, Tifway 2 Bermuda in the past, all from us, but this year they decided to try out this variety and see how it goes.
So this is kind of an experiment for them to try a little different kind of a grass.
Very similar to the types that they have used over the years. This year they just decided they wanted to try it.
This is fascinating. It's like green carpet, just being rolled, cut, and rolled. What are those blades down there that are cutting it?
This is a single blade harvest. It's a 42-inch long, a 42-inch wide roll. We also have rolls that we cut in half that are the 21-inch split rolls, but this is a solid 42-inch big roll.
You mean 42 feet?
42 inches wide.
Oh, okay.
By 40 feet long.
Wow. Look at this. This is so thick and heavy. And do you mow it as it's growing?
We mow it about twice a week, 2 to 3 times per week.
2 or 3 times
Correct.
A week?
It also helps with the density of it, to keep it dense. And that's what you need you need a very Bermuda dense field to put up with all the heavy traffic that these sports stadiums and fields
Well,
use.
yeah, just think. There's going to be a lot of traffic on this
heavy
thing.
traffic. Football guys are the toughest on it. Baseball guys, you usually get a few position players in the outfield that might sit there in one spot and sit with their cleats and mess it up,
Yeah,
or the umpires.
This is going to the Chargers.
This goes to the Chargers.
And to the 49ers.
Correct. Also for soccer at the Home Depot Center.
Uh-huh, in LA.
Yep. And we do a lot of...
Soccer's hard on this,
LA
too.
Galaxy, yes, they are hard on it.
Is there a lot of competition?
Yeah,
Who competes to sell sod?
There are several sod companies in California. There are.
So why is your sod so great?
The location and where we grow it and how we grow it.
Now this sod is going to Angels Stadium, but we got somebody here who's not from the Angels. Where are you from?
San Diego Padres.
Well, wait a minute. What are you doing here? This is for the Angels
It is, but you know, we all shop out here and came out here to see what we'd be getting this year. And
What do you mean you shop out here?
got to come out and shop for sod. Got to come out and stake our claim and get the best stuff.
So wait a minute, what do? You just go around and look for sod that you think would be good for the Padres?
For the most part, I make 3 or 4 trips a year out here to come see Tom, and he takes me around, and we have different options of different types of Bermuda. And so this is what the Angels chose, and we're going to be going with something a little bit different. But
so you literally come out here to check on, actually you said the reason he comes out here is why?
To see me and play golf.
that would be nice. I wish it was the case all the time.
Yeah, we know.
We'll sneak one in every now and then.
But now wait a minute, what's interesting is that the sod that's being cut today for the Angels is 1 inch and...
It's 1 1/4 inch thick.
How thick is your...
Ours is going to be 3/4 of an inch
Now
thick.
why
so.
is the difference?
Well, there's a couple reasons. I think Barney at the Angels has a concert coming up this summer, so he's preparing for that and knowing he's going to resod afterwards and wants to have the same level. For us, you know, we're going to have about a month to grow it in, and so 3/4 should be sufficient, and it's you know, it's cheaper when you're going less.
So is 3/4 just as good as 1 1/4 inch?
3/4 will grow in just fine with the amount of time he has. We're taking the 1 1/4 inch because come this summer, we only have 5 days to grow it in. And so we need that stability.
That's after the big U2 concert.
Correct.
At Angel Stadium.
Correct.
Which is it's gonna tear all the grass up.
Again. Yep.
So is that figured into the cost of U2 being there for the concert, that they're gonna have to pay to replace the whole?
I'm sure it is. I'm sure the Angels have made some sort of concession with it.
Well, you're loving that.
I love dirt shows, motocross, and concerts.
Because you get to lay down all new.
Yes, they tear it up pretty good.
And do you think most people, when they come in Padres Stadium, Petco Park, do you think they know that it all started out here in the middle of the Coachella Valley?
Most people don't have any idea how much goes in to a Major League Baseball field. I mean, it's fun to work with all the guys, Clay at the A's and Eric at the Dodgers and Barney at the Angels. We're all good friends, and we all know what goes into it. We know what Tom does to get it here for us, and so we appreciate that. But you're right, most people don't understand that you have to go a year ahead in advance, starting to look at it up until a month ahead to get your field for the year.
Wow, so when your sod makes it to your stadium, it's like it's coming home. It's like you're finally seeing it where you thought it belonged all this time.
That's right. You're welcome at home, and you're basically married to it for as long as you have it, and you've got to maintain it. So.
Well, you're married to it for 1 season.
Well, we keep ours for 2 to 3 years. It's different because we don't have dirt events. We don't have motocross like the Angels, the A's, and the Dodgers. You know, so we don't have a dirt event. Therefore, we're trying to maintain our field for at least 2 years and maybe 3.
So even though he's a good golfing buddy, you're only sending him sod once every 2 or 3 years.
Unless they have Madonna or something like they had one year. Like their marketing team sometimes books events, and it's all of a sudden he's out here, hey Tom, I got to take sod in 3 weeks.
That's right. Mick Jagger has bought us a field as well as Madonna before, and then we've got to get it right away.
Well, Tom, to be honest with you, there's only so much we can do out here watching you cut and roll grass. After a while, it gets kind of old, doesn't it?
I understand, it does.
It's not that exciting. This is television. We're trying to get people excited. So what we're going to do right now, we're watching them load the turf up on the semi. The semi leaves here and goes down to Angel Stadium in Anaheim, where it's going to be rolled out and installed at Angel Stadium.
About 6 o'clock tomorrow morning.
That's where we're heading next. We're leaving the Coachella Valley and heading to Anaheim. Let's get one more look out here. Boy, look at this. And just a couple of 100 miles from here, we'll be in Orange County. The sod adventure continues. We are following the sod. We have left Coachella, and look where we are now. Cue the sod layer. There it goes. Oh my gosh, and look at this. We're in the middle of Angel Stadium. And what's going on over here, Tom?
Over here, we're starting to laying our sod with the guys right behind it, taking the pitchforks and butting it up so we don't have any seams later on.
So you're laying it back out the same way you brought it up the first time?
Correct.
All right, now you know what you're talking about, but the guy that we really need to talk with here at Angel Stadium, introduce yourself to everybody, Barney.
Barney Lopez here, nice to meet you.
Okay, now your title here is?
I'm the head groundskeeper.
All right, tell us what's going on here, because this is about as important an event as you're going to have through the whole season, isn't it?
Exactly, this is when we first start to get it ready. Monster truck actually leaves here last Sunday. Now we do, we get all the dirt out of here, we come in, we laser level it, and then we put all of our irrigation heads on, and then we come back in, we put the new sod down.
Now you scrape it down to the bare bone.
Yeah, we take the old sod out, and then once we get the old sod out, we grind it, and then we come back in. We have a guy that comes up, Bill Barkshire comes in and laser levels the whole field.
What is this? Is this sand like they have in Coachella?
Well, it's kind of sandy. It's a silty soil. It's kind of like a sand and a sandy loam. We got a lot of, we put sand on top, and every year we kind of add sand to it and mix it in, and then put a little bit of fresh sand on top. Just try to get the roots to get in the ground.
This is a big production, isn't it?
Oh, it's huge. Yeah, every year we do it. Every year we go through this.
Now, let's take a look at this. This is interesting because when they were taking it up, it was just the machine kind of going underneath it. Now you've got a bunch of manual labor here.
Yep. These
guys are actually pulling it.
Yeah, actually they go quick. We'll do 106,000 square feet in 2 days. And what they'll do is the big key is, like Tom was saying, to make sure when they put that sod down, we have the surface underneath it level, and then we bring the broom through it, and then these guys behind us to make sure they pull that tight.
So you got a broom in the front that's doing what?
That gets rid of all the tire tracks and everything that we caused.
Smoothing it out.
Smoothing it out, yep.
And then here comes the sod.
Oh, the sod, yep.
And then here come the guys back here pulling it and bringing it right up flush to the other strip that's been laid down.
Yep, it's amazing.
And look how quickly. Now wait a minute, look at this. This is one color and that's another.
Well, that's because this stuff here has dirt on it. So what we'll do, we'll follow behind those guys and water it all in.
Look at the different color here.
That's
this little patch right here.
That's exactly what it'll look like when we get done washing it off. And then we'll put a roller on it and we'll start rolling it, trying to get it real smooth.
All right, let's step over here. Okay. Cameron, look at this. Here comes the, I guess you just call it the sod laying machine.
Yeah.
Look at this. You know, this is fascinating, and nobody ever sees this happen. You usually kind of have this all to yourself down here.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at this. This is amazing the way they pull it. Boy, that's heavy. Look at this. And there's the end of the turf right here, waiting for some more to be laid down from this roll. It just goes up and back until they've done the whole field. You've already laid all of this down. We're here on the morning of the second day, so you did a lot of work yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday they got about 50,000 square feet done.
Now look, there's different colors. You can see the strips laid down. Is this all going to grow together as one big lawn?
As we fertilize it and nurture it all the same, it'll all look the same. In probably about 3-4 weeks, we'll get it all.
Okay, now what's your action plan now that you got it laid down? Do you have to water it right away?
Yeah, we water it in right away, and then we come back and with the roller and we roll it. And so we'll roll it one direction, and then even when they're done today, we'll come back and roll it the other direction. And then once we get it pretty packed in good, then we'll come back and we'll start mowing it like in 2-3 days. And then once we get that all done, and once it starts growing, it keeps growing, it grows in, then we'll come in, we'll start top dressing it with sand.
Do the roots go down into that hard soil or not?
Yeah, well, it does go in, but it's not like a whole sand-based field. See, a lot of fields have sand-based. We still have a native soil field here, so we don't get the root system that everybody else gets, but we'll still have enough to where these guys are going to run on it and play on it without getting hurt.
That's interesting, because you do every football and baseball stadium, major football and baseball stadium in California. Are they all different? Are they all unique?
They all have a little bit of differences to them. For the most part, they're all trying to go with sand-based, a heavier sand-based, for drainage and for root establishment.
Now, and you all get along, all the teams get along.
Oh, yeah, we get along real well.
You know there was a spy from the Padres out at Coachella when we were out there 2 days ago.
I'm just making sure he wasn't getting my side, so I already had mine picked out. So these guys, they don't want to make sure you get your plot picked out early.
Everybody picks out what they think is the best.
Yeah, exactly. And then Tom hooks us up and makes sure it looks good when we come in.
But it's all friendly competition.
It is, yeah. But I make sure I get out there before all those guys do.
Now these other guys get all the attention, but your job's important too with this brush, isn't it?
Yeah, I have to make sure the grass is good and soft for the outfielders. It has to be level, otherwise we'll get some snake and balls across here.
Yeah, so you're just basically walking back and forth with a brush.
Yeah, all day. It's great. It's a lot of fun.
It's a tough job, but
it is.
But you know what? You're doing something to make this field something that everybody who comes kind of takes for granted, but really takes a lot of work.
Oh, it does, and it's the greatest job in the world. People wonder if it's really real grass.
You're kidding?
No, all the time.
They think it's artificial?
Yes, they do.
Because it's so green?
Yep.
Barney is doing what he loves to do. I hear you love to water the grass.
Yeah, I'm watering the turf in. It's pretty much my standard operation, what I do. Like we saw before, where it was a bit lighter green, so I wash the dirt off of it.
Turn that back on. I like this. See, most people just get to water their lawn.
Exactly. I got 100,000 square feet that I'm going to water out here in the last 2 days, and then after today, we'll start using the sprinklers. But I like to wash it down with the hose so I get it all washed in good and see if there's any areas that
Can I do that?
You sure
How do you do this? Just hold it like this?
Like that, turn it on and water it in. You can see where we're already watered, and you can see the areas that haven't been where the dirt's still on. Those are the areas that you want to
see, there is dirt there.
Yeah, so you just want to wash that off.
Now, is there such a thing as having too much water?
Exactly. You want to have just enough water to where that roller is going to make an impact on it. So if you get it too wet, what'll happen is it'll get a little dip in it, so you don't want to put too much out.
Boy, look at this though. Look at the difference. Look, Cameron, right there. See that grass with the dirt on it? And look, I'm going to water it. And suddenly, magically, it becomes
beautiful green.
That beautiful green. So that really is just, that's part of the Coachella Valley there.
Exactly.
You're washing it off. Wow.
Water it right in.
See, this man's happy. You could leave him here all day and he'd be happy just watering the turf. For hours, for days. It never ends.
There's an art to holding that hose too. Feel how heavy it is.
Yeah. He's got it down. We're walking into the infield, and boy, this dirt needs some work done on it.
Exactly. What we'll do is we'll have our Bill Barkshire laser level guy come back out, and he'll
this is a mess right here.
Yeah, you should have seen it 4 days ago after a monster truck. This is not even a mess. This is,
so you had the big truck rally
the big trucks
here?
Yeah, exactly. So last Saturday night was the last one, and then
so you tore it up before you put it down.
Exactly. So then we come in, and what we do is we rope off the whole infield. We find out where first base is, second base, and we know where the base paths are. We know where the home plate area is, and then we come back in.
How do you clean this transition area up?
What we'll do is we'll come in and we'll get this wet, water it down, and then just rake it out and smooth it out, and then keep on packing it with your foot. We'll take rollers and pack that infield mix in.
So that you don't trip on the edge.
Exactly, yeah. So you'll never know the transition once it's done.
So there's sod to be taken care of, but there's a lot of dirt to be taken care of as well.
Yeah, that's on a game day I spend, the team is home, I spend probably 90% of my time
on the dirt.
On the dirt, the mound, the home plate area, the base paths, and the dirt.
Wow.
And so when the team's gone, then we really put our concentration into the grass, top dressing, airifying, fertilizing, all that kind of stuff.
So Tom, there's more than just your sod.
Oh yeah.
There's dirt here too.
Dirt's real important for a baseball game. I mean, you get a bad hop on the dirt, it's terrible.
I'm surprised they haven't gotten into the dirt business too.
Exactly.
He could sell you some good dirt.
You never know. Times are tough these days. You might have.
Is
dirt.
This natural soil? Is this Anaheim soil?
No, that's actually it's a blend that we make. and it's about maybe 15% silt and about 18% clay.
Wow,
Yeah.
so it's brought here.
Yep.
And how deep is it?
About 5 inches deep.
Wow.
So,
See, there's always more than meets the eye,
yep,
isn't there?
Exactly. So we won't work on this. Once we get the sod in, we'll probably start concentrating on this in 2-3 days, and then hopefully beat the next rainstorm that's coming in Saturday and have this done so it doesn't turn to soup on us.
That's not a good thing.
No, it's not a good thing.
Well, that's it. This has been quite an adventure. Thank you very much, Tom. Thank you, Barney. You're a living legend down here in Anaheim.
Now that you're here.
Yeah, no, you're the legend. And you provide, your turf company, it's called
West Coast Turf.
It provides all the turf for all the major football, baseball, and soccer venues in the entire state of California.
Correct.
He's already told us earlier that he doesn't look at the games. He's looking at the grass. He's looking at the turf.
That's
You're the
pretty
same
much,
way.
yeah, pretty much when I'm watching Sports Center at night, first I look at the fields and then I look at what happened to the games.
I think that's what all of us are going to be doing from now on, because this has been an eye-opening experience for all of us to see where the sod comes from. And we found out that this sod is grown, it's raised, grown, transplanted, replanted, and played on right here in California. This sod is definitely, and the sod all over the state, in all the stadiums, a fine example of California's gold.
Here's the pitch, runners go. Fly ball lifted into right center field. That ball's hit well, it's out by the wall.
And that ball is going to get out of here. It's a walk-off home run.
The Angels will have to temper the celebration, but you gotta believe they're happy. The second game in a row, it ends on a walk-off homer, and the Angels...
Hello, everybody. I'm Huell Hauser, and it's all about the sod, California's golden sod. And if you'd like to go on this sod adventure again, share it with family or friends, or perhaps donate a copy to your local school or library. Well, it's available on DVD. All you have to do is call 1-800-266-5727, and we'll be glad to send it to you right away.
Ford and the Ford dealers are proud to have brought you California's gold. Discover the new ideas we're developing to make being out on the road more enjoyable and more economical. Like EcoBoost, the turbocharged engine technology that gives you the power of a larger engine with surprising gas mileage. Ford is committed to making your traveling fun, economical, and environmentally responsible.